a song off of my first record. This is called Downtown Runaround. 2, 4. Take a walk down Dixie, trying to find some love in this town. Slip and fall so easy. Downtown run around. I was out, but now I'm back in and out all over again. Been living life in a hurry, gonna keep on doing that dance. Now I'm stuck on 4th Street. You put it right in the palm of my hand. I was out, but now I'm back in and out all over again. I was out, now I'm back in and out all over again. Everybody's got something calling their name. Everybody needs something, so we don't feel the same. I was out, now I'm back in. I was out, now I'm back in. I was out, now I'm back in and out all over again. I was out, now I'm back in and out all over again.
Hey everybody, Cornel Bogdan here. Counterpoint, a musician's tale. And we got a musician's musician with me tonight. I am so happy to welcome to the show, Mr. Duane Betts.
Hey, how are you, man? Good to see you again, man.
Thank you you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
I have been a fan of not only, you know, your legacy, but you as a musician, and you have done such great work. You're a band guy. You've been in how many different bands? 5, 6, 7 bands? It seems like you start up a project and then...
I mean, I've played with quite a few folks, but, you know, I mean, you just kind of do something and then things change and then you're off to the next thing and then you get excited about that and, you know, just see where it takes you and, you know, you don't ever, you kind of take a little bit from everything and, and you know, add it to your experience bucket. And, you know, I've learned from every experience I've been in, so it's cool.
When your name is brought to you by your mom and dad from Duane Allman, and your dad is a Hall of Famer in the Allman Brothers Band, founding member, is that pressure on you as a young individual? Everybody kind of looks at you like you're going to be the next biggest thing. Did you feel pressure when you were a kid?
No, not when I was a kid. I didn't at all. I played drums. I just enjoyed playing the drums, and I love music. I loved listening to, you know, I went through a heavy metal phase. I went through a rap phase. You know, again, you just take a little bit along the way, and then it adds up into your library. But, you know, I mean, I switched to guitar when I was probably 12, 13, you know, is when I really started playing seriously. And before that, it was just too difficult. I mean, I remember I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my dad putting a guitar in my hand, and it was like, like I want to play drums, you know, give me a drum kit. So,
Dickey Betts' son, a drummer.
Yeah, well, he started out I mean, a lot of guitarists play drums first. You know, Warren played drums, and you know, he's a really good drummer, funky drummer.
Now, how come the transition from being a drummer to a guitarist? I've heard that from many people that have started off on drums. Why is that transition? It makes it a little bit easier?
I think you just can take, you know, you learn how to keep time, and you kind of learn how to do patterns of rhythm against time, you know. You kind of accent on the 6/4 or 4/6, right. You know, like your left hand or this or that. And I think it just works its way over into, it just helps with rhythm, you know, and music is rhythm, you know, and melody. But yeah, I mean, you know, people ask that all the time. Is it, you know, I mean, I think that a good way, when I was little, no, it wasn't. But I think the thing is it can be pressure and it can be a weight to carry, but it's what you make it, and it's a weight that you're proud to carry, hopefully, you know.
That band had such a tremendous following, and I think everybody wants to see you succeed and carry on that legacy and carry on that tradition. Is it something that is on your radar too?
I just want to make great music, and I think if it's authentic, to who I am, it might carry on that tradition, or it might not. You know, or two people might get in an argument about it, or I don't really care, you know. Mm-hmm. I just think that it's not in my thoughts when I wake up, I need to carry on the tradition of the, you know, it's in my thought, I want to be great, I want to make great art, you know. And the way I play naturally might exist in that world. I mean, I think it's safe to say that, you know, I kind of exist in that world of music, you know, and rather than, you know, I mean, I'm not like a pop artist or, you know, making like electro records, you know, or something. So I think, you know, if it carries on the tradition, then great. But it's a great musical tradition. I don't want to downplay it. I mean, it's great music. It really is, and I enjoy playing those songs, and if it's with the right people at the right time. You know, we just did a thing with Chuck Leavell in Indianapolis, and I sang a song I never sang just because, but I did Ramblin' Man with him because he played, you know, on those great records with my father. So, I mean, that actually is like, Andy's in the Stones for 30, 40 years or whatever. Right. So it's like, yeah, Chuck, whatever you want to do. If you want to do Ramblin' Man, well, hell, I'll sing it, you know. Or we shared it, you know, but it's always an honor to work with him. But it was such a legend and a class act, you know. But But yeah, man, I mean, we just did this new record down at Derek and Susan's place down at Swamp Raga.
Very cool.
That's what I'm working on right now.
That's Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi?
Yeah, yeah. So I just finished that record. Johnny's on it. Johnny Statula's on it. Barry Duane Oakley's on it. Falcon from Tedeschi Trucks Band played
Very
drums
cool.
on it.
When's this coming out?
Well, it doesn't have a release date, but it's being, I mean, it's done. It's done. It'll be hopefully the beginning of the year. So I don't want to give too much away on it.
I gotcha.
But it's like, that's what I'm doing. So I'm focused on something. I'm not just...
That's a Counterpoint
I'm not,
exclusive.
Hey,
baby.
man, I'm not just farting around out here, you know? But yeah.
I loved your first solo album. It came out in 2018?
Yeah. 2018 it came out.
Yeah.
I did it over a number of years. It was actually just demos and stuff that I kind of compiled because I was like, man, you know, some of this stuff is like, yeah, it's not perfect and it's not this, it's not that, but man, put something out, you know, like quit being so perfectionist, or not even perfectionist, but hard on yourself about it. Like, oh, it's not as good as Jason Isbell or whatever, you know. No. Put it out, man. People will dig it, and it'll do what it needs to do and get you to the next step. So.
Well, there's 6 songs on the your first solo album, and 5 of them are originals.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Well, all of them are original on the new one, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But that one, you know, that's kind of a weird thing because it's kind of an EP. I called it an EP,
Right.
Because I wanted because I don't look at it like a real record. I looked at it like. It is a real record, but this is like my first real record that I went in and was like, I'm doing a record. Like
that was like the starting block.
That was just kind of thrown together, and it's kind of like just on the cusp of being an EP, but officially it is an EP.
Yep.
So officially this will be my first LP, but you could go back and forth on if it's an LP or an EP. But
where do you get your inspiration to write?
I mean, it just comes and goes, man. Writing is like the most difficult thing. I wish I was like some people I know are like, they work really hard at it, I know, but it just, some people have gifts, you know, they can just write. I mean, right now, I'm in a phase where I don't have to write because we just wrote a bunch.
Yeah.
And I wrote some stuff on my own that I was really proud of, some of which is on the record. And, but writing is, you know, sometimes you write something and you think it's pretty good, and it is pretty good. Sometimes you write something and you think it's pretty good right after you wrote it, and it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Like the next day you're like, oh, that's not it. You know, I mean, it's just not it. You know, it's not that it's awful or, you know, it's just, well, that wasn't as good as I thought it was right after I wrote it. I thought I really hit it, but you know, that's, with me, I mean, to get one by yourself that just comes out, I mean, it's
a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. But I mean, I write a lot with Stahl Vaughn, who I've collaborated with on all of the stuff on both Allman Betts Band records, on the songs, like 4 out of the 5 songs are on the first record I did. And then you know, I collaborated with him a lot on this. So me and him just work together, and that really streamlines it. And if some guy, and what we bring to the table together just gets us a lot further, a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas, I mean, I'd still be writing, you know, songs right now.
As a singer, songwriter, musician, what do you feel is the number one part of your repertoire that you are most proud of? Your playing, your singing, your writing?
Well, the thing that's easiest for me is guitar playing, I can tell you that. But I'm really proud of when I do, I mean, the thing that I'm really proud of is, I'm really proud of some of the stuff on this record where there's a song called Circles in the Stars that I wrote that doesn't have any solos or anything, and it's really musical, but it's just kind of a nice song. And then at the end I bring in just a really melodic line,
Very
and
cool.
it's very simple, and it's you could hum it, but it's almost like it's I mean, stuff like that, where you're like, where you can use the guitar in such a minimal way and,
Right.
and wait till the end of a song to bring it in, and it still is like kind of like really moving, you know, that's, you know, but I mean, I love, you know, I get inspired when I play sometimes, and sometimes I'm not inspired, you know, and hopefully it reaches somebody, you know. But singing is something that I'm working on, and I'm getting there. You know what I mean?
You got
I
a
didn't
cool
start singing
voice, man.
until I was much later, so I'm
got a
trying to
cool
learn how to
voice.
breathe and just be consistent with it. Because I'll be like sing a song, and then the next night I sing it, I'm like gasping for air, like struggling in my head at least, and then I'm like, well, wait, I was singing this song last night. And then the next night it's great again. I'm like, man, this is like easy as pie. What's going on? You know, so there's a lot of factors, and a lot of it's just you get in your head and you.
Yeah.
But I just try to keep moving forward at all of it. Hopefully.
You have such a great personality, great smile. Do you consider yourself a tortured artist at all? I think so many great musicians, they write great music when something is going wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
noticed that?
nothing's really going wrong, but I think you have to go through stuff somewhere, and I've gone through stuff somewhere, you know. So
Wow, nicely put.
yeah, so you have to get it from somewhere, but you don't have to necessarily be in it at the time, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I was after, you know, I want to bring up the COVID lockdown. You're a guy that, you know, like I said, all the bands that you've been in, you're a road dog, and I mean that as a supreme compliment. You're a gypsy. You love the road. What was COVID like for you, the lockdown, when all of a sudden?
I mean,
you know,
honestly,
yeah.
I don't want to be like insensitive at all.
Uh-huh.
Insensitive at all. Yeah, I said it properly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a rough time, and a lot of people were going through tough times, you know, with the shutdowns and stuff. I was really fortunate we've been touring constantly. You know what I mean? We've been on the road hard working.
You were,
and so when it shut down, I was like, well, I'm set for a while. You know, this is the cards that we're all being dealt. I'm just gonna chill and spend time with my dog and my wife and enjoy myself. And I mean, I spend a lot of time outdoors. Like I live in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, part-time, like in the summer.
Nice.
So that whole summer I was in Wyoming, which everybody knows is very open space, you know.
A great place to breathe, isn't it?
Yeah, so it didn't, I mean, I don't want to say it didn't affect me because I saw what was happening, but I was fortunate to be able to live a really good life, you know. So
If I'm going through your vinyl collection or your 8-track collection or your cassette tapes or your MP3 or whatever the hell you have your music on, what would I find in there?
oh man, a little bit of everything, you know. I mean, I'll be really honest. I haven't really been listening to a lot of music lately. I've just been listening to, I mean, we just mixed our record, and I don't even want to listen to that. I mean, and we're on tour right now, so I'm playing. But no, I mean, I'm not like an aficionado. Like, I don't know every jazz record that ever was made, but I love jazz. I love, you know, I listen to Charlie Parker or John Coltrane or, you know, but I listen to a lot of, like, I listen to like the new Lord Huron record.
Nice.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I have been listening to lately. I listen, you know, I mean, of course I love the old blues, you know. I mean, I follow stuff on Instagram where, you know, they're like old clips of Earl Hooker and, you know, and you know, B. King and, you know, Albert. I mean, all those guys are big influences on me, you know. But, I mean, I really haven't been listening to anything in particular lately. That Lord Huron record, I really like, though. I really like that.
How did you decide to put together this trio?
Well, this is just this is to do something in the meantime that makes sense, that we can all have fun and all make a living.
Now, let's
You know
talk
what I
about
mean?
who's in the trio.
Barry Duane Oakley is on bass
Okay.
and vocals, and Johnny Statula.
Okay.
Johnny and I have been playing together for a minute now, you know. So, I mean, he kind of came into the fold with Allman Betts Band because I brought him in. And, Barry, obviously, we've been knowing each other for...
Forever.
We've known each other since
Yeah.
I was like 12 or 13 or something, or younger, a little younger than that. But, and we played in different groups, you know, on a tour here, you know, a month run here, you know. But yeah, I mean, this is just a really fun thing to do while we're, you know, finishing the record, mixing and then mastering, which is where we're at now, and keeping the costs down and having it be stress-free and walking in and having a 10-minute load-in, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. But this isn't like the new band or something, you know what I mean? This
Right.
is just kind of like...
Something to do right now.
Something to
Yeah.
do to where we can all kind of... But it's really fun. You'll see.
Well,
I tell jokes half the time.
you know, I go back to the days of MTV Unplugged, and you know, you watch some of those shows and the standout performances by Nirvana, by Pearl Jam, by Eric Clapton. Those were people that could really pull off playing acoustically and didn't have to hide behind electric instruments, if you know what I mean. Everybody hears every little mistake there when you're
It's challenging to play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Play those. I mean, you just can't do what you sometimes. You get into a bad place when you try to try to do what you would do. And you're like, why doesn't it sound? Well, because you're playing an acoustic guitar and it's coming through a monitor. Of course, but I mean, I really love playing acoustically if it's the right setting and it sounds good, or good enough. No, hopefully it sounds good. But yeah, I mean, I love playing acoustically.
Well,
There's something so pure and natural, and like you said, you just can't hide behind anything. It's just there's no bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is what it is. We're
raw.
gonna play. Do you like it? Okay, great. Like, let's carry on, you know.
I remember those old blues guys like Howlin' Wolf who would sit just in the middle of a hall, pounding his foot and playing, and you know, and you had to pull it off, man.
Wow.
You had to pull it off, you know. But I wish you nothing but tremendous success. And if you don't mind, can I ask you how your dad's doing?
He's doing good, man.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
What's a day like in the life of Dickey Betts?
I don't know. We like to, when I'm with him, we'll watch some westerns and we eat good food and shuck oysters together.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, when it's oyster season, I'll go get a bucket of oysters from the wholesale place and bring them back, and we'll open them ourselves. And you know, he taught me how to do that a while ago, so it's pretty cool. You know.
Well, give him the best, and I just wish
Yeah,
you
man.
nothing but good
Thank
stuff,
you.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all along the Armstrong network of stations, this has been Duane Betts. You've been listening to Counterpoint, A Musician's Tale. I'm Cornel Bogdan. Take care of each other. Peace.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Born out west in the ocean wind. I've gone pretty far, but I'm back again. Mama, she married a rambling man. What you know you don't understand. Watching the sun go down, watching the stars spin around, taking your time getting, taking your time getting,
taking your time getting lost. Throwing stones out in the dark. Miss your touch, but you're in my heart. Back and forth and around again. Where we start is where we end. Watching the sun go down. Watching the stars spin around. Taking your time getting. Taking your time getting. Taking your time getting lost. 2, 3, 4. Back and forth and around again.